Hello, everybody. This is Dom from Upstate Supernatural. Welcome to Live Spirit Frequencies. We are going to begin to continue our test with the spirit writing. And also, if anybody has any comments or any suggestions for the things they would like us to do on the shows, please leave a comment below in the video. You can catch us live in chat with LPTV. The link is in the description below. You're more than welcome to tune in and type questions or so forth for us to ask. And don't forget, tomorrow night we have Spirit Box Weekly. We're doing our final test with the EVR, Big Beard Studios EVR. You can also check out more shows and more content on our YouTube channel at Upstate Supernatural. You can find more shows on Live Paranormal coming up. Hopefully within the next month or so, there should be more shows popping on LPTV. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce our hosts. With great honor, we're going to take on Scott as a host with us. He's been on a few times as a guest host and kind of happy with everything that's going on with it. So we're going to have James and Scott and I doing the shows from now on. But right off the bat, James, I'm going to swing to you. And if you'd like to say hello.
Okay, sure, no problem, Don. Well, good evening to everyone in the room there. Yeah. And,
And Scott, I'm going to swing right over to you next. And you're on, bud. We can't hear you on the mic, actually.
Is that better?
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Not a problem.
Hey, good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing tonight? And thank you for tuning in to a great episode. And I'm truly honored to be a part of your team.
Happy to have you doing the show with us.
As I am. I'm just really stoked, and it's a real big honor to be able to do this. And I think the evidence that we've been getting the last couple of weeks have been very interesting, and I can't wait to see what comes of this. I think it's the starting point, and it's just going to just be amazing. So if you're in the chat room now, please feel free to share on your social media sites that we are broadcasting live on liveparanormal.com, and we really appreciate everything.
And I'd also like to give out some personal shout-outs. If you can put headphones on or mute there you go. I'd like to go ahead and do some personal shout-outs. We got Paraghoster in here. Thank you so much, buddy, for all your support and for popping in all the time. Chris Walsh, thank you so much for being in here. Doppel, I want to give a huge shout-out for Doppel. I've actually looked into pretty much all the subscribers and so forth on our channel. Doppel is literally one of the first subscribers to Upstate Supernatural. So I want to give a huge shout-out to Doppel. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you for viewing in. Again, if any of you guys have any suggestions or things you would like to see us do on these shows, let us know in the comments below. We'd be happy to try new things, try different ideas. It's all about learning. Learning is a form of growing. So I think if we can all learn together, we can grow together to find true answers. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show the findings from last week. Some of these are, I would say, Class Bs. So if you have headphones, you're going to want to have your headphones on. And I did put an advisory blip in there for when the audio gets excruciatingly loud, so you're not blasting your eardrums. So I'm going to go ahead and play the evidence real quick, and then we're going to come right back, and we're going to go to having Scott do a burst session, and then we're going to go to James doing the spirit writing.
I ask that you speak loud and clearly into the recorder, which is right here at the edge of the desk. I ask that you speak loud and clearly into the recorder, which is right here at the edge of the desk. And what I'm going to do is give you a chance to say anything you want. Again, all I ask is that you speak loud and clearly into the recorder. And what I'm going to do is give you a chance to say anything you want. Again, all I ask is that you speak loud and clearly into the recorder. Five, four, three, and the spirit will say, five, four, three, and the spirit will say, are you from the East Coast, like New York? Are you from the East Coast, like New York? How do spirits hear us? How do spirits hear us?
The only person that can be heard is you and myself. The only person that can be heard is you and myself. Hello? Hello? Where are you? What would you call the place you are at? Where are you? What would you call the place you are at? Are you in this house with me? Are you in this room? Are you in this house with me? Are you in this room? Can you try to speak louder? Can you come closer? Can you try to speak louder? Can you come closer?
Noises outside the room.
He heard us.
Noises outside the room.
And welcome back, everybody. Yeah, our findings from last week was actually one of the shorter ones. And we're going to be switching over to Scott doing a birth session right now.
Hey everyone, alright, well, what I'm going to do here is show a couple things. I'm using a new product also, Ovulus EM White Noise. I don't know if everyone can see that, it's in the chat or has YouTube on, but you can get it at billchapel.com, digital dowsing. And I'm going to do this real quick.
And I just wanted to make sure, James, you're muted as well, right?
Yep.
Scott, we can't hear you at all.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, sure can.
Okay, sorry about that. Good evening, spirits. It's me, Scott. I mean, no disrespect or harm. I'm just here to communicate with the spirits that are currently here with me. If you are a male spirit here with me, what is your name, first and last? If you are a female spirit and you're here with me currently, what is your first and last name? What's it like on the other side? What did you do for a living? Can you tell me what location I am currently going to next in March? Can you tell me who I'm going to see in March? If you have a message for somebody that's in the chat room, can you say their name loud and clearly? If you have a message for Dom, can you speak loud and clearly into the recorder? If you have a message for James, can you speak loud and clearly into the recorder? Can spirits travel from one place to the other instantaneously? As spirits, can you feel our feelings? Alrighty, well, thank you, spirits, for taking the time to communicate. I'm going to end the EVP session. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. Here we go.
And I just want to make sure I take care of your water. Good evening, spirits. It's me, Scott. I figured I would do a quick EVP session. If you are currently here with me right now, would you please come forward and speak loud and clearly with me? Scott, we can't hear you though. Can you hear me?
Right there.
And clearly with me? Scott, we can't hear you though. Scott, we can't hear you though.
Yeah, I was hearing Scott.
What'd you hear?
I heard Scott, I believe.
Yeah, sure can. Okay. Sorry about that. Good evening, spirits. It's me, Scott. I mean, no disrespect or harm. I'm just here to communicate with the spirits that are currently here with me. If you are a male spirit here with me, what is your name, first and last? If you are a female spirit, and you're here with me currently, what is your first and last name?
Something right there.
Can you point the bottom of the recorder right to the... There you go.
What's it like on the other side? What did you do for a living? Can you tell me what location I am currently going to next in March? Can you tell me who I'm going to see in March? If you have a message for somebody that's in the chat room, can you say their name loud and clearly? If you have a message for Dawn, can you speak loud and clearly into the recorder?
Right there.
If you have a message for Dawn, can you speak loud and clearly into the recorder? If you have a message for James, can you speak loud and clearly into the recorder? Can spirits travel from one place to the other instantaneously? As spirits, can you feel our feelings? Alrighty, well, thank you, spirits, for taking the time to communicate. I'm going to end the EVP session in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Alrighty, I'm gonna actually, everybody should be able to hear me now. Yeah, I kind of felt, I heard more with the microphone in the room than I did with the recorder actually that time. I thought I was hearing responses while you were doing it. That's something we'll see when we go and do our review for it.
That's very interesting that you say that. I'll have to look forward to the reviewing that.
And now I'm gonna switch over to James, and you can go ahead and start doing the spirit writing. All right, we're switched over to James. James is gonna go ahead and do the spirit writing. Scott, if you can mute up, I believe you already did. I'm gonna mute up. James, you can unmute yourself. Okay, you're already unmuted.
Yep.
And we're gonna go ahead and allow you to try to do this spirit writing. I would try. I'm really liking either writing the number down or a word down first, and then later on seeing if they can say it or get you to write it, make a reference to it in some way.
Okay.
But any viewers that are watching, if you have any questions you would like us to try to ask, if you have any ideas on different techniques or methods you'd like to see us try to do with this show as well, please leave that in the chat or leave that in the comments below the video for any individuals that aren't watching this live.
Okay. You ready, Dom? Okay.
Yep, I'm all set whenever you are.
Okay. Hi, my name is James, and so I'd like to communicate with you tonight. Just ask you a few questions. I come in total peace. I'm not here to cause any upset or trouble. So the first thing I'd like to ask you is, could you please tell me your age if you remember? Could you tell me what sex you are? In other words, are you a boy or a girl? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Now, could you tell me what your favorite food was? Do you remember? Would you be able to tell me where you were born? Do you have a favorite song you'd like to tell me about? Or even better, what is your favorite band? Do you have any memories of where you were from? In other words, where you were born?
Any spirits within communication, if you can hear me through James's end, James, I believe I'm hearing a child, actually. So I would say a great question, I've asked it in the past, is what kind of favorite ice cream did they enjoy, or what their favorite game was to play?
Yeah, no, I have lots of old game systems here. Have you ever watched me play them? Would you be able to tell me what your favorite toy is? Hmm. Now, here's an interesting one for you. Do you believe in aliens or any other type of life?
James, I heard absolutely.
Ooh.
And actually, I'd like to try something within at 10:30. If you can see the time, James.
Yep.
At 10:30, Scott, can you begin to do a burst session at your place? James, go ahead. Just the first question to ask at 10:30 is please tell me what your name is. And then from that, allow Scott to go ahead and do the burst session. And then we're going to play that after you do the spirit writing. I want to see... I'm going to leave Scott muted. So, Scott, if you can stay muted, but allow James to be heard in your area, let's see if we can get anything with a burst session while he's doing the spirit writing.
Okay, that sounds fair. Now, my next question to ask you is, how do you get around? Do you just appear place to place? Do you float around? Can you walk? Can you travel through computer? Lots of interesting questions like that.
Acknowledge that you heard them, because I believe I heard it say, "Did you hear us?"
Yes, I appreciate you communicating with me. I've been able to hear some of your answers, and thank you very much. Now, my next question for you would be is, what is your favorite thing to do? Did you ever have any pets? Dog, cat, hamster?
I believe it said I had a dog.
Yeah, it just came to my mind as well, actually. Could you tell me what kind of dog it is?
Golden Retriever.
Golden retrievers. Beautiful dogs. Beautiful dogs. Have you tried to communicate with us in the past?
Scott, go ahead and start your burst session. James, go ahead and ask if it could please tell you what its name was.
Okay. Would you be able to please try again and tell me what your name was? Could you tell me what your best memory is? Now, where you are, how is it there? Is it warm? Is it cold? Is there air? Okay, good question. I wanted to ask you a question about your dog. Is it around? Is it present with us? Are you capable of having dreams? Do you sleep at all? Are you always awake? Do you ever feel trapped or confused or lost where you are these days? Do you remember what your last meal was? Does this seem strange to you that I'm trying to communicate with you? Or do you appreciate it or like it? Do you recognize anything around you that you can tell me about? Hmm? When's the last time you seen a family member, sister, dad, cousin, mother,
Sister, and in the chat, Chris Walsh has asked, ask if the dog is present.
Yeah, I did. I can ask again though. I'll ask again. Would your dog happen to be present with you right now?
And Scott, go ahead and turn that off. And let's go over to Scott and let's switch off from James for a second and go to Scott and see what this burst session came out with.
All right.
Scott, you are.
Alrighty, let's see how this comes out.
You guys do the burst session for about 5 minutes. Good evening, spirits. It's me, Scott. I want to again thank you for communicating with us earlier, but we are here to find out more about you. and maybe more about what the other side is like. Can you tell us something about the other side that we do not know?
That sounded real weird.
Can you tell me what your best memory is? The spirits.
Right there.
Do spirits see us in everyday life when we're walking to and from a store or a grocery store or a gas station? Now, where you were, or a grocery store or a gas station? Now, where you were, how is it there? Is it warm? Is it cold? Is there air? Do spirits see us as energy? Can you tell me how old you are? I wanted to ask you a question about your dog. Is it around? Is it present with us? What was the name of your dog?
Scott, please rewind that. I think I heard something.
What was the name of your dog?
I definitely heard
How
that
many
name or
dogs
something.
Yeah, definitely. There's something there.
do you have?
One more time.
The name of your dog? How many dogs did you have? Are you capable of having dreams? Are you capable of having dreams? Do you sleep at all? Are you always awake? Do spirits eat?
There was something right before you just talked.
Do spirits eat? Do spirits eat?
I hear a no.
I heard I don't sleep.
Do spirits eat?
I can help you find public beaches if you turn on location services. Go to location services.
Do you ever feel trapped or confused or lost where you are these days? Do spirits feel our feelings?
Right there.
I'm not lost.
Do spirits feel our feelings?
Do you remember what your last meal was?
Do you have a message for all of us as human beings that are alive?
Does this seem strange to you?
Beings that are alive?
Does this seem strange to you that I'm trying to communicate with you? Or do you appreciate it or like it?
I want you to think back to a childhood.
Rewind,
What's
please,
your
if you
fondest
don't mind.
memory?
What's that?
Rewind, please, if you don't mind.
Communicate with you? Or do you appreciate it or like it?
I want you to think back to a childhood. What's your fondest memory?
Right there.
Do you recognize anything around you that you can tell me about?
Can you give me a name of a place you visited? Can you give me a name of a place you visited? Can you give me a name of a place you visited?
When's the last time you seen a family member, sister, dad, cousin, mother,
Sister, and in the chat, Chris Walsh has asked if the dog is present. Is there a dog
Yeah,
present?
I can ask again though.
Did the dog
Yeah,
bark for me?
Would your dog happen to be present with you right now?
You hear the dogs barking?
Did the dog bark for me?
Would your dog happen to be present with you right now?
And Sky, go ahead and turn that off.
I'm going to go ahead and switch back over to James. Actually, I'll switch to myself real quick. Just to make note, there was the first anomaly that you heard, Scott, was actually me leaving the room. I was not in the room at all during the whole session that you guys were doing that. That's why I did ask ask if the dog is present. Again, the reason I left the room is just so there was no chance whatsoever that my side had no audio coming through for you guys. So it's only between the two of you.
Yeah, and I was muted, so this is going to be very interesting findings, I think, with this, and it would be very interesting to see what we get.
All right, and James, if you would like to start back up with doing a little bit more of the spirit writing, we'll probably do it for another 5-10 minutes, and then after that, we're gonna go ahead and probably just close out. Everybody, don't forget that Live Sci-Fi does have a show tonight. It's at it was actually at 10 p.m. Opposite of us, but don't forget to tune in with that. It has a special team on there. Nikki Paranormal from Live Paranormal is actually doing the show with live sci-fi for that episode. So it's actually a huge thing for live paranormal. I think it could make a nice partnership in a way for live paranormal. But don't forget to tune in right after this at Live Sci-Fi. You can find that if you go to Paranormal Global TV. That is a YouTube channel that has live shows, archive shows, tons and tons of paranormal videos and content. So if you're looking on how to hack things or how to get into other things, you can find it on Paranormal Global TV. And yeah, James, you are on, and I will turn my mic off.
Yeah, I'm unmuted. Okay, not a problem, Dom. Now, the next question I wanted to ask you was, what color is your hair?
A great question to ask is actually spirit. You can ask the spirits if they were able to hear Scott, or if they're able to communicate to Scott through what we just did.
Were you able to hear Scott or communicate with him when he was trying to talk to you there? Out of the three of us trying to communicate with here, Dom, Scott, and I, do you know one of us in particular, or are you passing through? Are you a current resident of my house? If so, were you here when I bought this place, or have you followed us here? No, the question I never did ask you though. Are you a boy or are you a girl? You ever go visit a doctor? Now, speaking of which, how do you feel?
Spirits and communication, I mean no disrespect with this, but are you aware, or do you know that you have passed over? Do you know that you are dead? And with that, are we right to think that you are dead, or are you still with us, just in a different area, in a different dimension or a different multiverse per se?
I'd like to see how current you are, up to times with things. Would you be able to tell me who our current president or is? Would you be able to repeat your name again?
Is there light that hurts you, whether it be regular sunlight, whether it be fluorescent light, halogen, ultraviolet, or infrared?
Now, here's an interesting question for you. Can you fly? Are you on a mission? Now, I have a bit of a more of a serious question for you there. If you are passed on, or you're aware you're passed on, would you be able to tell me who was responsible for your death or how you passed on? Okay.
And I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in for another episode of Live Spirit Frequencies. We have Scott with myparanormalcorner.com, which I'm going to go over to Scott right now. You're going to be on in just a second. There you go, bud.
Hey, I want to thank everybody that came into the chat and everybody that's watching on YouTube currently. And make sure you check out and subscribe to Dom's channel, my channel on myparanormalcorner.com. And again, thank you for coming out tonight.
And I'm going to switch right over to you, James. You're on right now, bud. Oh, you're good.
There we go. No, yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. It's much appreciated. We really appreciate having you guys and gals out there. It makes the show more enjoyable having you guys out. Thank you very much. And Dom?
Yeah, I'd like to, again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to check out Live Sci-Fi. They're on right now with the episode 2 of a 4-part series. Nikki Paranormal's in there as well. You can also check out a new video series we just popped out with on Daily Motion. If you go to our YouTube channel, it's up in the upper right-hand side. You can follow us right on Daily Motion. It's a new series basically giving a little more information about angels and demons. A lot of information that most individuals don't know about, and I really feel it's something that needs to be out there for the field. It's something that I'm curious of myself, and with me learning, I'd like to share that with everybody. So don't forget to check us out next Thursday. We'll be back at 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. And you can find us tomorrow night, Spirit Box Weekly, on Upstate Supernatural's YouTube channel. Everybody have a beautiful night, and thanks again for tuning in.
Have a great day, everyone.